Have you ever wondered how to beat your addiction? Did it ever cross your mind to simply kidnap harmless villagers and convert their organ power into unlimited quantities of nose candy? Well, it's worth a shot, ain't it? Today, we use the Warcrimes Expanded Mod and a little bit of sadism to turn this lovely piece of nature into the most polluted, inhumane and feared Nutrin extraction facility known in the Rim. Will we be able to facilitate enough clients to feed our genetic addiction? Let's find out. Our adventure starts with Stardust, Poppy, Sniffler and Heisenberg. Crashed on this distant RimWorld with only little supplies, they have one important matter on mind. They are wasters, a race of humans that are genetically adapted to living in polluted and dangerous environments. However, wasters have one major caveat. They are genetically addicted to drugs. The plan is to implant the local populace with Nutrin incubators, which turn your organ power into lumps of Nutrin at the small cost of pain, suffering and irreversible organ failure. With this purely ethically sourced Nutrin, we're going to be able to produce our very own wake-up. But before we can attempt any of this, our bunch needs a stable base of operations. We decide to take shelter in the center of the map next to a piece of fertile soil, which is gonna prove useful for all of the crops we're going to cultivate to feed our colonists and future clients. And let me tell you, there's gonna be a lot of mouths to feed. Anyway, we've all seen RimWorld bases being built. So I'm not gonna waste your time here and quickly go through the early stages of the base. After a few weeks of work, we were able to get down a nice wooden base with a nutrient paste dispenser because nobody was able to cook a decent meal. For power we use pollution generators, which generate energy at the cost of polluting the surrounding area. But since wasters only thrive in pollution, it's basically free energy. My only worry at this time was the dragon that was wandering around. And it seemed that my fear wasn't unfounded. He ate Heisenberg.
Oh really? Wow, well that's unfortunate.
Like I said earlier, wasters thrive in pollution, so it only makes sense to let one of the guys become a Mechanoid. This allows us to make use of little robots to help us on our nefarious quests. Fortunately, there was an ancient Mechanoid part lying around, so we destroyed it. We used the transponder to drop a long-forgotten Mechanoid spaceship to our location, we killed the Tesseron that came with it, and we ripped the mech link out of the brain of the old Mechanoid so Poppy could insert it into her own mouth.
Brother,
We instantly got a lifter we called Splifter, who is now gonna help us out in the colony. We made a new room to house our future Mechanoid complex. We added some rooms for our colonists and added floors to make it actually look like something. Our colonists were not really happy since our faith needed a priest. So we built them a church and assigned Sniffler as a giggler. Not everyone seemed to like the arrival of our sadistic junkies, and pretty often we were attacked by angry locals. We were able to fend them off pretty easily for now, but since we are on losing its fun difficulty, it'd be wise to upgrade the defenses in the near future. Initially I planned on only using wasters for this run, since all of the pollution was probably gonna kill anything else. However, on the 1st of September, a Pollaxkin named Kimmy asked to join the colony. At first I wanted to accept her to just chop her up for reasons, but upon closer inspection I found out that the Pollaxkin are totally resistant to pollution and toxic. She even needs to consume toxic waste packs in order to stay alive, which we produce in abundance with our Mechanoid buildings. I think we can probably keep her, and she has great planting and medical skills. And the latter is going to be really important to be able to take good care of our future clients. The colony was starting to look like something more than a pile of stones and wood smacked together. We expanded the crafting area to also have a drug production bench. We made a storage room to store all of our goodies, and slowly the pollution was starting to spread. It was now time to start thinking about the housing of our future clients. And we started digging into the wall of the mountain we were next to. A great place to start the facility and offer our clients the most of privacy. Until now, our waster friends fed their psychite addiction with the flake they brought from the crashed pods. However, time was starting to tick since nobody was actually able to craft psychite tea, and the supplies were starting to dwindle. The implementation of Nutrin incubators in people is an exquisite and highly technology advanced practice, so there was still a lot of research to be done before we could start the first experiments on our clients. We decided to make a dedicated research bench for Sniffler to dedicate all of his time to researching on his new research bench. He researched like their lives depended on it, which it kinda did. In the meantime, we constructed a separate nutrient paste dispenser system, which was not connected to our own food supply. This allowed us to feed our clients the more exquisite food types that were not meant for our own colonists. Coincidentally, I saw the dragon that ate Heisenberg had had a rough fight with a group of rhinos and was badly hurt, and without taking any casualties, aside from Sniffler almost losing an eye, we killed the dragon. This one is for you, Heisey. On the 12th of September, we finally finished the research to medical torture methods, which sound lovely on its own. However, to be able to get to Nutrin incubation, we still needed organ destabilization, for which we in turn needed smithing and machining. Yup, back to the research bench. Since the research was going to take a while, I decided it was time to start building a multi-purpose defensive wall around the base. I say multi-purpose because it keeps the raiders out and our clients in, just in case they want to try and escape. Not that they will ever have a reason to, of course. The facility was almost ready to welcome the first clients, and we installed the last few crucial parts to keep our clients happy and alive. Every bed gets its own nutrient paste dripper, which automatically feeds the person in the connected bed. This is really useful for the clients that will not be able to walk. Everything has been considered to give the clients the best time here. The Great Wall and the nutrient paste drippers were finished just in time to welcome the first batch of clients. The wall had already proven its worth, as it funneled the attacking tribesmen into a single area, allowing us to defeat them one by one. And like that, the first clients entered the facility. Sadly, not all of them survived, but don't worry. His body will get another purpose, and let's just say that this won't be the last time his friends tasted his presence. The rest of them are getting patched up and prepared for the first experiments, which are almost fully researched. On the 9th of December, the research was finally finished, and we could now finally start the... What? You need Nutrin to actually craft a Nutrin incubator? Oh, fine. I'm not sure where we're gonna find it yet, but we'll start looking for it. I thought it'd be a great idea to start researching tox traps in the meantime, which down enemies instead of killing them, allowing us to potentially turn more raiders into clients. A special pre-operational treatment that our clients have to undergo is that their legs will be surgically removed and replaced with, well, nothing. This is great because it prevents our clients from escaping and they won't suffer any more mental breaks, since they are unable to walk. This is incredibly convenient, as otherwise they would likely experience numerous mental breakdowns. Like, I'd be mad too if a nutrient-based dripper would forcefully feed me the minced remains of my fallen friends. But hey, try to come at me without legs. God, I love science. We got raided by a pretty large group of potential new clients, and Reek, also a waster, joined the colony just in time to fight them off and introduce them to their new sleeping quarters. Welcome, and don't mind the legless guys over there. They've been here a while. One of our new clients was a waster who actually had a good cooking skill of 5, which is really good for a waster. So we decided to keep her legs on and started recruiting her. In a desperate attempt to find the first bottle of Nutrin needed to make the incubator, I made a contraption to help crack open the ancient danger. But alas, none of the buggers had any Nutrin on them. However, a few days later a bulk goods trader came by and finally, there it was, Nutrin. Oh yeah, let the scientific experiments begin. With this first bottle of Nutrin, we crafted our first Nutrin incubator and installed it in Nereus. Now it would just be a matter of time for new Nutrin to grow on Nereus, which we could then harvest and use to build more incubators to install into the next clients, which in turn gets us even more Nutrin. A snowball effect that would as soon shower in dreams. Or well, that's what I thought would happen. It appears that the incubators do massive damage to your organs, which, in hindsight, for a device that turns your bodily functions into addicting chemicals, shouldn't have been all that surprising. Anyway, the damage it deals has a great impact on the client's body. It just so happens that most of our clients miss their legs. Apparently, having no legs lowers your total health threshold and makes the chemical damage gained from incubators be a lot more lethal. We had to find a solution for this, and we took this chance to take a much more humane approach. Only amputate their feet. It's genius, I know. And somehow this worked and kept the clients alive for a lot longer. And there finally it was. Our very first successful Nutrin growth without someone instantly dying. Our plan seemed to work. Kimmy now carefully removed the Nutrin glands from Nereus and managed to harvest 16 Nutrin. 16, that's just crazy. In the meantime, I finished the kill box and outfitted it with tox mines, which sounds like a great idea on its own. It downs raiders a lot faster and thus gives us more clients to work with. However, a side effect of the toxic buildup is that it gives our clients dementia as well as cancer. So we converted the kill box back to a regular one. As you can see by the lovely toxic clouds, the pollution was spreading very nicely, strengthening our waster colonists. To prevent more cases of dementia and cancer on our clients, we had to install a pollution pump in the guest house to keep the pollution out. Sadly, as you can see, the facility is kinda empty. Yeah, we kinda hit another roadblock here. We got the research, we got the materials, but now we don't have the clients. I think our neighbors may have heard of our little operation and it made them a little hesitant to come attack us. Because from this day on, until the end of the very playthrough, we didn't get a single raid. Nothing. We had to take matters into our own hands and used an age-old marketing strategy. If the client doesn't come to you, you go to the client. And I knew exactly how we were going to do this. There was a crazy amount of research to be done, so we upgraded the research room so that Poppy could assist Sniffler in his quest to research the albatross. We still needed more clients to be able to make enough wake up in the meantime, so we set up some pod launchers, making us able to fly to nearby camps. Everyone got together to give the best gear to the two chosen ones who would go out and find new clients, Stardust and Reek. Finally, we researched and crafted 2 shield belts for our warriors to keep them safe. And like that, we were ready to go on our first active client recruitment mission. We prepared with weapons for long range, medium range and melee. They took a sip of Psychi tea, a hit of freshly harvested wake up and went in to recruit some clients. Their attempt to take us out with tox grenades was pretty funny since we're immune to it. So we first dispatched the gun wearing ones and after that we downed the grenadiers. After imprisoning them and patching them up, we headed back to the base and outfitted them with incubators except for Izumi, because she's a low mate. Low mates are essentially genetically engineered beautiful sex slaves, unable to say no to anything. We decided to enslave her for other types of experimentation. We also did another of these raids and we got us some fish people clients, and we even had to expand the facility even more. And then, finally, after a whole in-game season of grinding insane amounts of research, we unlocked the Albatross military spaceship. This beauty was able to carry a ton of people, and this was exactly what we needed. It was incredibly expensive to build, but we scraped together every spare thing we had, sold it to passing traders and used the money to buy all the parts needed for the beast. And there it was, the Albatross, in all its beauty. This thing gave us access to unlimited amounts of clients, and it was so fast. Just look at it fly. This time, it was Poppy's turn. She took out her favorite mechanoids, the tunneler and the pikeman, and used them to fly from base to base, capture all their inhabitants and bringing them back to the facility, where Kimmy and Sniffler relieved them of their feet and outfitted them with their very own Nutrin incubators. The Albatross was the thing that kept the facility filled to the max and replaced any client that would potentially die. Just look at the amount of Nutrin and wake up we have stocked up now. So this is how we handle our addiction. I'm not saying it's the best way, but it for sure is fun. Thank you guys for watching, and special thanks to my patrons. If you're also addicted, check out the next video. I'll see you there. Bye.